Hello everyone. How are y'all doing this Monday evening? Hope you guys are having an amazing day. I got wrapped up yesterday because I was watching TV with my family, a little family moment. So this is why you're getting Animal Kingdom today, because of that. But this is season 5, episode 5, Family Business of Animal Kingdom. So we open up the episode with Pope. Pope is walking on the beach, and there's this this little church group, and the preacher, he's preaching the word, and Pope runs into an old friend of his, and the guy, he's talking about, yeah, I just got out 18 months ago, and it's like, I gave my life to Christ and everything like that. So they're going into the water, and they're about to get baptized. So he tells Pope about Angela. Y'all remember Angela for last season? Angela was an old friend of Julia's, okay? And then she came into the house and everything like that. So he tells her that Angela's dead. I said, what? He said Angela's dead. Pope was like freaking out, like, what? Like, when? Like, tell me what happened. And he tells Pope that she got beat to death. She was squatting in like this place in the central, and someone beat her to death. Like, who is it? Shane. Pope was like, Shane? It's like, yeah, man. Does he still live with his sister? And the dude was like, didn't give him an answer. So Pope was like freaking out. And y'all know Pope, them wheels start turning. You can't turn those wheels off, okay? So he leaves, okay? Then we see Darren. Darren, he's waking up at the bar, and he gets a call from Pamela. Pamela said, hey, I want to come by the house. I'll be there at 11, okay? So he's mad about that because y'all remember the last conversation, last episode, that he wants their stuff back, but Pamela is going to give them anything, okay? Sorry, y'all, my nose is stuffed up, okay? Y'all going to get nasal, yeah. But then we see Craig. Craig is at home with Nick. Ren comes home. Ren was in Reno with this bachelorette party. And then she proceeds to tell us that her friend, who is getting engaged to a real estate broker, he thinks that she'll be really good at it. And you can see like the distance between Ren and Craig, in which I'm kind of happy about it because I want Craig to be with somebody else other than Ren. Okay. But he gets a text saying that Pamela's going to come by the house. So we get a flashback of Smurf and Julia and Andrew. They're at this diner, and they're overhearing the cops, talking about, inappropriate stuff, okay? So then they leave, and they accidentally bump the chairs of Smurf and Julia. Pope was about to go into attack mode. He was about to go into attack mode real quick, but Julia was like, it was an accident, Pope. It was an accident. And you see how he is trained like that? Yeah, Pope is trained like that. He's been trained since he was a little kid to attack, okay? He doesn't know when not to attack. So, they leave. The cops leave. And the waitress, she goes to get her tip. They stiff her of her tip. And she proceeds to talk about the officers. Yeah, Officer Jamie, his wife took off, and his mom has cancer. So not Pope, but Smurf, she gives her like an extra tip and tell her to keep it. We get back in the present day, and they're all wondering where Pope is at. Where's Pope? Darren was like, he'll be there. He'll be here later. Jay, and I agree with Jay. I agree with Jay on this part, that Darren should have told them that he was going to go talk to Pamela. But then Darren flicked on it and was like, oh, so now you want me to bring stuff to you? I get it both ways, but it's like, bro, you talking to the woman whose name is literally everything to her. Y'all should have talked to her together. Okay, all of y'all should have. But they are just so anxious of what she's going to do, and it's like they don't know what she's going to throw at them. So then she comes to the house with her son and granddaughter, and she asks Jay, because he's Julia's kid, she was like, where's your mother? He was like, she's dead. And then she told them, help Phoenix, that's her son, help Phoenix bring lunch into my house. So I said, Pamela, keep your foot on they necks. Keep your foot on they necks, Pamela. Because she got it. She got her foot on they necks right now. So we see Pamela, and she bought barbecue. Okay, she bought barbecue. All right. And she and her granddaughter, they go looking through the house. And the granddaughter says that the house is worth $4 million. Okay, $4 million, the house. So she tells the boys at dinner, well, here comes Pope. Pope shows up, and he's a little bit taken back by Pamela. And he looks shook, all right? So during the dinner, she tells them that she has a proposal for them. And she says that there's something valuable and that it is very important to her. And if you don't get it, then everything is over with. The deal's over with. So she goes into the bathroom. And Pope, he has like a meltdown and he walks away. Her son, Phoenix, says that 20 years ago when he was drunk, he got into a fight. The dude died. Okay, beat the dude up to death, okay? The company that he was skating for, because he was a skateboarder and he was a professional skateboarder. He said that he, rode with Tony Hawk and everything like that. Craig was a big fan of his, had his deck when he was 14 years old and everything like that. So he tells him that the company that he was skating for, Marion, he has the shirt. He has the shirt with his blood, the dude who died, and Phoenix's blood in the safe. And they asked him, like, is there anything else? Like, what else is in the safe? He was like, that's all I know of. The granddaughter was like, look here, you need to give an answer, because if not, then, my grandmother is an impatient woman. And so she also brings up that Smurf wasn't in like the right sound of mind when she signed the will. And Jay was like, look here, she had cancer. She was on pain medication. She was drinking a lot, which was true. She was drinking a lot. And their names are on the will. But here's the thing. If they go to court, they will lose. That's what the granddaughter said. And so, Pope, he's in his bedroom. And he's like, talking to himself. Pamela walks in. And I felt something, and I said, oh my gosh, I hope Pamela didn't do what I think she did to Pope. I really hope, because Pope looked a little shook. He said, you still smelled the same. And I said, oh my God, what did you do, Pamela? So she asked him, how did Julia die? And he said that she OD'd. And she was like, oh my gosh, that must have been really hard on your mother. Pope was like, look here, she didn't care about any of us. She didn't care about none of us, especially Julia. And I said, you're right, she didn't care about y'all. Because if she cared about y'all, she would have put y'all on the wheel. But y'all mama didn't care about y'all since day one, okay? So Pope leaves, and he walks away. He doesn't tell the boys where he goes. Pamela comes out. Pamela's like, so you heard my proposal. If you say yes, Phoenix will give you the details. If not, you got until the end of the week to get out of my house. That's right, Pamela. Tell him. We also get a flashback of Smurf and Jake listening to a police scanner. And, Jake asks Smurf, do you think this is going to be a good plan? So Julia asks, hey, can I help? Yeah. So Smurf was like, okay, when you say Julia, when you hear Jerry or McGuire, I think it was Jerry or McGuire, one of it. If you hear one of those two words, raise your hands. So they're listening to the police scanner and they hear Jerry. Hands up, okay, Jerry. So they're about to do a job, and Jake tags along with them. So we see the aftermath of Pamela leaving. And so the boys, they are just kind of like, should we do this? Should we not? What if this happens? What if we do the job and, she calls the cops on us? Like, we don't know what her intentions might be. So then Jay was like, okay, tomorrow we're going to go. We're going to check it out. All right, it's going to be me and Jay that we're going to check it out because Craig has to do something with Frankie with the fence. So we get a flashback. And in that flashback, we see Smurf, Jake, and Andrew and Julia. They're about to do a job. So they go to the valet. They walk out the hotel. They go to the valet. And the valet is, was like, where's your ticket at? So she's trying to find her ticket. She can't find it. So they make up a lie saying that, oh, we're just visiting, my mother's. We don't know the room number. And then Jake was like, it's parked over there, the red Firebird. So they go and they take the car. Then we go back into present day. And Pope is driving. He goes to where Angela, squatted at. So we see a couple of people, a couple of crackheads. I'm sorry, a couple of crackheads getting drugs. So then the camera focuses on this one dude. Pope is looking, at the car. The two dudes, they're walking by. One of the dudes is like, hey, yo, is that Pope? The tall dude starts running. Pope was running. I said, Pope, come on, Pope. You got to put some more pep in your step. Come on, Pope. You got to run, Pope. Let's run, Pope. Come on. Let's do some cardio, Pope. You got to run. You got to run faster, Pope. Come on. Pope was running so slow. And I said, you better run fast. Put some pep in your step. Come on, Pope. You got to run fast, Pope. Let's run fast, okay? So then the dude takes the bike and he goes down like these steps and he hurts his knee. So then he's limping. I'm like, Pope, come on, Pope. You playing with this dude. Just come on, Pope. He catches up to him. They go underneath the pier and he was like, I didn't do it, Pope. I didn't do it. And then Pope just starts punching him. He was like, why weren't you there? Why weren't you there? You were supposed to help her. Why did you help her? Why did you help her? He just starts punching him. And he's drowning him. And I'm like, oh, Pope, this ain't the way, Pope. This ain't the way, Pope. So then he pauses for a second. And he says, Julia. Then he says, Smurf. And then he just keeps punching him like, why did you help her? Why did you help her? And he just walks away. And I said, Pope, you better hope nobody wasn't looking, okay, committing death in broad daylight, bro. Come on, Pope. So we see Darren and Jay, they go to the warehouse where Marion is at. Phoenix looks like Marion isn't there. So he gives them a tour on inside, and it's like this big old skating thing. You guys remember on MTV, Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory? If y'all remember that show, one, you're a real one. And two, that is literally what the vibes was. Just this big old skate where you could just skate, whatever. And Phoenix says that this is a place where, people eat, sleep, smoke weed, do whatever. This is their paradise, okay? Skaters' paradise. And so he said that the safe is in Marion's office, bolted in the ground, and that there's people upstairs and everything like that. So then he also points out a skater who's there like all the time. So then Darren asked for demo or anything like that. He was like, yeah. It's like, every Sunday there's a DJ, whole bunch of skaters. It's invite only, but it's like lines out the door. So then Darren was like, okay, let's take a look out back. So they take a look out back and they asked about the alarm system and cameras. And Darren was like, all right, we're going to need someone to, look at that unit right next door. Phoenix was like, yeah, I'll do it because I work here. Darren and myself asked the same question. Why are you working somewhere where a dude is blackmailing you? He was like, well, you know what? Marion helped me in my life. And it's like, I wanted to stay away from my mom. And this is what happened. So he told Darren that he would keep a lookout on anybody, clocking in, clocking out next door. Okay, surveillance. So then we get a scene with a flashback. And Janine and the kids and Jake, they are just going, they just going down on the highway, okay? They just driving fast, okay? So then they get pulled over by Jerry, the cop. So he's asking for ID. She was like, it's in the back, it's in the trunk. So she gets the trunk and, she knows that his name is Jerry and that she bribes him with money. And she was like, this can help you with your mom. And so if we work together, this could be something in the future. So then it clicked to me. Is Jerry the guy that was called in the first episode when the shootout happened? and he was with the rookie officer. Is that Jerry? And he pulled Darren aside, and Darren gave him the money. That had to be him. That had to be Jerry. That had to be Jerry. Yeah, because he was like, if Smurf, was here, everything would be nice and quiet. I think that is Jerry. I think that is Jerry. Jerry is the officer that was there in the first episode of season 5 after the shootout happened, and that rookie officer, he said don't call it in, and that he was going to talk to Darren. He pulled Darren aside. Darren got the money for him. Yes, that is Jerry. I answered my own question, so there we go. So then we get back to the real world, and Craig and Frankie, they are at this auto shop, and they meet up with this guy, and he asks her about Vlad or something like that. And so they give him some jewelry that was Smurf, and he said give him about 3 days and he'll give you the price. So then they go outside. They about to leave, right? And so she was like, Jay's the one that asked me about the fence, so why are you here? Craig gets in the car. And I was like, Craig, what you about to do, Craig? Craig, you got that look in your eye. What you about to do, Craig? I was like, Craig, what you about to do? Frankie was like, what you about to do, Craig? Craig leaned in and kissed her. Look here. Craig is the type of dude that I go for. He really is. Craig is the type of dude that I go for. Beard, because I'm a sucker for beard and tattoos. He got a beard, and he got tattoos. He's tall. He's good looking. Craig is the type of dude that I go for, but he got to change his ways. He got to change his ways, okay? So Craig, Darren, and Jay, they regroup at Smurf's house, well, at the compound, and they ask about, if it's a solid job. Well, they run it by Craig and see if Craig is on board and everything like that. So I was thinking, like, where's Pope? Like, have y'all not checked on Pope or anything? Pope comes home and he just beelines to his room. So then we get Craig. Craig is back home and he's tired. He looks worn out. I said, yeah, you are worn out because you did something, Craig. So Ren comes outside and she tells him that, hey, I need to go to the store. He was like, why? She was like, because I need to get formula. He was like, why? Breastfeed and everything like that, Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Breastfeeding, it's minerals and irons and vitamins. She was like, well, I took 2 bumps, so I'm just get formula, okay? And Craig was like, okay, look, I'll do it, okay? I'll go and I'll get it. Ren was like, no, I'll go and I'll get it. I said, this relationship is just going to fall apart, and I am so here for it because, Craig, there are plenty of fishes in the sea, okay? Okay. So then we get a scene with Pope. We go back to the compound. Pope is packing up. He's packing up his stuff, and Darren checks on him. He's like, what are you doing, Pope? He was like, I gotta go. Okay, I need to leave. I need to get out of this house. And it's like, I hear Julia. I black out. I go to places, and I don't know how I got there. It's like, I hear voices in my head. I'm hearing Smurf's voice. I'm hearing Julia's voice. I need to go. I need to walk away before something happens, okay? So then Darren was like, okay, breathe. Do what you gotta do. You've always had our backs. Okay? You've always had our backs. It's time for us to have your back. You can go, and then come back. Pope was like, I don't think I'm coming back. And he packed up his stuff and he left. So then we get a flashback. And we see Smurf giving Julia and Pope $1 each. And she tells them about a cut. You help out on a job, you get paid for your help. There you go. So they go to 7-Eleven. Jake was like, don't you think it's too young to be teaching them about that? She was like, it's a family business. So then he asked, what about us? And I said, what about your wife? What about your wife, Jake? What about your wife? Jenny asked the same question. Shouldn't you be asking your wife that question? So then we go back to present day, and we see Jay looking on a computer, looking through like apartments and everything like that. Well, penthouse, townhouses, condos, whatever. We see Darren. Darren got a big old duffel bag. Jay's like, why are you here? He was like, Pope left. He was like, what about the job? He was like, the three of us will do it. So then he was like, I'm going to stay here since Pope left and, keep an eye on things. Jay was like, well, what about your place of your own? He was like, I might rent it out, whatever. Just like you told me to do, rent it out. And he goes back into his room. Jay looks pissed. Jay, we all know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. Okay? We picking up what you laying down. We get it, fam. So, that was the episode of Animal Kingdom. And I will see you guys when I see you, okay? Peace and love. I love you guys. Bye.